Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, The 9 to 5 Musician. If you're new here, my name is Maggie, and this is a channel dedicated to talking about everything related to a creative and healthy lifestyle. Now today we're doing something pretty fun, which is talking about 3 short but really delightful pieces of piano music to share with your students or play yourself. And I think they're really wonderful, and a lot of my students have played them and enjoyed them thoroughly. Okay, so the first piece that I would like to share is by Yann Tiersen, and this is from a French film, and the piece is called Atlantique, and I really love this one. I think it's extremely beautiful, but very functional. So I like that there's a lot of different rhythmic aspects, and there's different technical things, like there's a really nice melody that comes in so that the students can work on voicing, and then it comes back in octaves, so a little bit, of a octave practice, and then there's a nice melody on the second page. As you can see here, there's a lot of offbeat counting, but it's kept simple because the left hand is quite repetitive, so it's challenging, but certainly, it feels very doable. And then the third page, I love that there's an incorporation of 16th note rhythms, so there's a lot of different values going on in this piece for the student to dive into, and this page always kind of scares them because it looks quite involved, but again, there's a lot of repetition, and it's a very pianistic kind of motif, so they actually find that it's very simple in the end. And then there's a return of the kind of opening melody. So overall, this is a very doable piece. I've had students learn this piece in 2 weeks that are even about like 8 or 9 years old, and they're just like so shocked that they can learn it, but it also sounds really beautiful. So again, I hope you enjoy this one, and let me know if you have any questions about it down below. Okay, let's hear it. So the second piece is by Dustin O'Halloran. This is again from a movie, not a French movie, but an American movie. And this is a really enjoyable little tune. It's called Prelude number 5. And for me, this kind of reminds me of like a Chopin prelude or something, but a very like easy, kind of approachable version of that type of music. Specifically because of the left-hand accompaniment and the way that the melody kind of moves around. It just reminds me of that a lot. And I like this piece for many reasons. One, I think it does teach, again, like voicing in the melody. And then there's some sixths, thirds, there's a lot of different kinds of intervals, and it's quite expansive with the range as well. So the students really get the sense of like a development of the piece, and the accomplishment and feeling that they're, creating something, that there's a climax in the middle, and then it comes down very gracefully. So I quite like this piece, both because it's, again, very, pleasant to listen to, but teaches some very important form aspects of music, even in such a short piece. So I do hope you enjoy Prelude number 5 by Dustin O'Halloran. And just one thing to mention, this is the piece that I did a slight arrangement of, simply in just 2 measures of the harmony. So if you're wondering about that, just let me know below and I will explain that all. Okay, let's have a listen. Okay, so our last piece here is by Rollin, and this is the book, actually. It's called Museum Masterpieces, 9 Piano Solos Inspired by Great Works of Art by Rollin. And it says Book 3, Intermediate to Late Intermediate. But I've pulled out a piece in this book. My students have played almost all of the songs in this book, and again, it's pretty cool because it has like all of the artwork linked to each piece, so it's also quite fun to take a look at with the students. But the piece that I want to highlight is The Great Wave of the Kanagawa, and I really like this piece because it's so simple. I was really kind of blown away by how doable this piece is, but it sounds incredibly fancy. And the reason for that is there's a whole tone scale opening, which is very easy to play, but it goes over the entirety of the piano, and then there's some kind of like clustered chords, so basically all just black notes. And then the progression of the piece is just a simple back and forth between C major and an 8-flat major chord. And the way that the left-hand accompaniment is done just actually really mirrors like the sound of a wave crashing, building up and crashing. And it's very soothing to listen to, but also has its kind of climactic moments. And it's another one that's very simple to get into, but leaves a student with a great sense of accomplishment and feeling like they've learned something quite challenging. So I hope you enjoy this one, and I highly recommend it to share with your students. Okay, let's have a listen. Alright guys, so that is it for today. If you liked any of these pieces, go ahead and put a thumbs up on this video and leave in the comments below which was your favorite, and go ahead and check out the music that I listed there below as well. If you enjoy this kind of content, please subscribe so that I can continue to make more content for you, and we will see you in the next one. Bye guys!